Hello, welcome back to our channel. I am Rupali Shah, a blockchain developer and an instructor at Newton School. So basically, this particular video would be about an introduction to Solidity language, and we will be looking at Solidity. So let's welcome Solidity and let's learn about Solidity. So as you know that it is a language that helps you to develop smart contracts. Smart contracts are just a piece of code that would help you to uh, create some business logics on the blockchain. So basically, Solidity helps you to create a smart contract on Ethereum blockchain. Now, for that, this is an Remix ID provided by Ethereum themselves, and we would be writing our Solidity code in this particular uh, place, on this particular ID. So, if you want, you can go to remix.ethereum.org. I will be attaching this link in the description, so you could just get this link from. And then when you will be opening this particular remix id, you will be so basically this is the folder thing. So this would be the home page that we see, and from here you need to go to this folder file explorer tab, and there you will be seeing couple of folders. So go to contract folder, and in this contract folder create your first Solidity file. So to create a Solidity file, we need to use the extension .sol. So PPT have PowerPoint presentation have PPT as an extension. Now same way, Solidity has SOL as the extension of their file. So we will be creating one demo smart contract, and for that let's create a file with extension .sol. Now the main thing of Solidity is to first declare the version of your Solidity, the license of the Solidity program that you are writing, who can access it and what is the purpose of your program. And the second main important thing is to specify a compiler. So if you will be not having any license to your smart contract, that doesn't mean that it is gonna give you some errors, but it's a good practice to include that into your program. And otherwise your compiler might give you some type of warnings or errors. So to avoid those warnings and errors, we generally use the license line, and to declare a license, we basically write this particular line. This is basically help us to write the comments in this particular language, Solidity language, and this is specifying that we are using a global access license 3.0. So that was all about license. Now the second thing comes your compiler. So when you will be moving to this compiler tab, here you could see that there are a couple of compiler that you can select. So basically Solidity allows you to write in any particular compiler. Your program could be a version of 0.4, and your program could be of version 0.8. So basically there are a lot of changes in this particular two versions, 0.4 and 0.8. And so to avoid the conflicts, and so to specify that which compiler you are gonna use while writing your or which compiler needs to compile this particular file, you need to specify the version of your file. So our demo.sol will be having a contract which would be including a version or from, it could be greater than or equal to 0.7 and less than 0.9. And to specify a compiler, we use Pragma, Solidity, and then the version of the compiler. This could be a simple version suppose 0.8.4, and Let's start our work with 0.8.4. So right now I don't have anything in this particular file. I just specify the license and I just specify the compiler. Now let's try to compile this particular file with the 0.4 version. Or let's compile this. Okay, let's just have a compiler. So this particular compilation give you an error, and it states that source file requires different compiler version, which is and you have selected some other version. So your version was 0.4. So to avoid this error, you need to specifically put 0.8.4. So now when our file would be getting compiled, it won't give you any error and there would be a green check mark. So once your program gets compiled and once everything is set, you could come to this particular tab, and then you could just deploy your contract, and then after the deploy version of your contract, you can manipulate your contract. So now let's see that how you can start your contract. So basically contract was some like a file which has some types of business logics. So to create a smart contract, we use this contracts, and these contracts are same as classes. This thing is that their meanings are a bit different and the way they work is a bit different. So we are having some keywords in Solidity language, and the way we specify any class in a programming language like C plus plus Java, we use class keyword. Same way to write a contract, we need to use contract keyword. So now let's have a contract, and then we need to give the name of that contract. So let's give it demo, and then we need to use the curly brace. So basically, this was the initialization of your contract, and this curly braces, and between this curly braces is the body of your contract. So once your contract has a body, and once you have initialize your contract, the same way in classes we have value members, parameters, and functions. Same way you could include all those things in this particular contract. So to initialize like a contract, to create data types and variables, Solidity also have some pack of data types. So there are a lot of data types, inbuilt data types that we can use, and there are a lot of data types that are complex and that you won't be able to use you have to specify your own data type, or you need to specify your own whole structure of that particular data. So that were the complex one, and there are some complex arrays and mapping, which are a little bit more secondary type of data type, and those are the structures that basically don't include much more they are like a little bit more complex, and they have more functions than the primary one. So in primary we usually have uint, and then we have string, then we have bool, and bytes. And Solidity itself has a particular or special data type, which is address. And yeah, in general we have array for complex one, array and mapping, and there are some user defined data types which are structs. So this were the list of few data types that you could use within Solidity. Now we will be discussing each thing particularly, but first let's see that how you could just create a data type in create a variable in Solidity, use these data types to store values, and how to deploy your contract. and this data types would be like topic for some another video. So first of all, let's create a variable. Now if you want to create a variable that stores integers, we are gonna use uint. And uint basically is a very big family in Solidity, because in uint also includes like uint uh, 15, I guess, or 256 is equal to uint only. So the same way, there are a lot type of uint in Solidity. Like I guess let's just specify uint for now, instead of giving any or adding any numbers behind it. And then so this is basically, this helps you to store unsigned integers, and to store some signed integers you can just use int instead of uint. And then you need to specify the scope of this particular variable. So our variable, we want our variable to be publicly accessible. So let's give it a modifier, and let's say okay, it's a public variable, and let's give the name of the variable, and let's store some value in it. So this is how you could define a particular variable, and then you could provide the variable access, that who can just access your variable num, and then you could store some values in this variable. So now let's just compile this particular file, and so you could go to your compile phase, and here you could click this compile button, and this give you a green check mark. And you can in shortcut you can use Control plus S to compile any Solidity file. After compilation, you need to come to your deploy and run transaction tab, and there you could just select the Solidity file that you to deploy. And once you select your contract, you click on this deploy button. So as soon as you deploy your contract, the first thing you can see that we have deducted some ethers. So there is always a cost of ethers to deploy your contracts. That's why for test purposes, we don't use mainnet, because this could cost you a lot of money. And for every deployment you need to like pay some fees. So why this money get deducted from our account? So the main reason for this is that whenever you create a contract and you want to deploy it on a blockchain, it will be executing some type of transaction. And in blockchain, if you want to create a transaction, and if you want to verify a transaction by a miner, you need to pay them some gas fee, and gas fees be the miners reward. So to give miners some reward, we actually need to uh, give some like spend some ethers to deploy a contract on the blockchain, and that's why the money got deducted from our account. Now you could see over here that this is the file which we just compiled and deploy, and this basically give you an address. So each Solidity program has a unique address, and if I will be like a suppose changing something in my Solidity file, then I again need to compile this particular file, and then again need to deploy this particular file. And after deployment, I will be getting one new address. That's why we say that in blockchain, the things can't be modified, the things can't be deleted, they just gets updated. Like you can update the state, but you can't change the state. Like you can't change the whole scenario, you just can update the values of those scenarios. So for now we have one thing, one program which we just deployed, and this basically has a num variable. And to access the value, you could just click on this particular button, and you will be getting the variable value, that what type of value it is storing and how much it is. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. And this video was basically regarding Newtons. And Newton is a tech company that help you to get a job ready for development field, and they basically provide you a placement guarantee from 5 lakh to 40 lakh. And with that, you don't need to pay a single rupee in the beginning of a course. First you need to take the course, you learn from those courses, and then get a placement. After getting a placement, you need to pay for your course. So please don't forget to check out the link in the description, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because if you want to get the notification of this particular channel, if you want to get the updates of the videos coming up on these channels, then don't forget to press the bell icon. So guys,